This is Backscatter X-Ray by Julie English for the class of Health Informatics 410-751. History. First, there was the shoe bomber and the underwear bomber, which both attempted to explode commercial flights. Thankfully, neither one of them accomplished their task, and because of these attempts, people who were traveling all over the world were afraid to fly again. Governments do their best everywhere to try and stop these attempts from happening and from succeeding. After the 9/11 attack, the Transportation and Security Administration, which is the TSA, has put into practice different security tactics, from limiting the size of shampoo bottles to sadistic pat-down processes. Now there is a new security technology that is being organized called Backscatter X-ray scanners. It is a higher X-ray picture technology system. These machines scan people's bodies for prospective weapons by forming a detailed outline that shows a specific X-ray image. In the beginning, it was developed by Dr. Stephen Smith in a commercial setting in 1992. He sold the Backscatter X-ray machine and the rights to a different system called the Rapiscan Systems, who is still a commercial setting today. TSA uses Backscatter X-rays, and they started using this system in 2007. They used it as a review of complex program technology at different airports of our nation. The TSA now operates around 500 Backscatter X-ray scanners in about 100 airports and plans to organize at least a total of 1,000 scanners. Security. Backscatter X-ray technology shows an image that looks like a chalk sketch. It is based on a shape of ionizing radiation. These X-rays test the radiation that reflects from the item and shows an image. For airport screening, images are taken from both sides of the human body. Because the X-rays are so clear and detailed, they turn out to be nude. Just like in this picture, any traveler that comes through the Backscatter scanner has to hold their hands up and go through the scanner, which usually takes about 6 to 10 seconds. There are different ways to compare Backscatter X-rays with traditional machines. One way is that traditional X-ray machines can detect hard and soft textiles by the difference in transmission through the object. However, Backscatter X-ray detects the radiation that reproduces from the target. It has possible applications where less destructive assessment is required, and it can only be used if one side of the target is presented for assessment. Traditional X-ray machines create images by discharging powerful rays all through the human body. These rays can be strong enough to cause health problems if a person receives too many high doses, which is the reason for why a person's doctor tries not to use X-rays very often. It is also why, at a dentist's office, a person has to wear a lead jacket since they are exposed to X-rays. The jacket redirects the X-rays before they come into contact with the person's body. In contrast, Backscatter X-ray machines use less powerful X-rays. The radiation amount is about the same as 1 hour of contact to natural environment radiation, which is called background radiation. These X-rays do not go into the person by sheer power. Instead, they go straight into the person's body and they spread out. As you can see to the right, there are obviously some privacy concerns for this X-ray because the images are so detailed. It has been proposed as a substitute to personal searches at airports and other security checkpoints that easily break through clothing to expose concealed weapons. It lifts privacy concerns about what is seen by the person who is viewing the check. A lot of people believe that the image defies confidential medical information, such as if the person is a transgender. There are very few travelers who look forward to a backscatter screening because they know that security employees are seeing them in a naked form. This is very true even though the TSA says that the images are deleted right away and the employees who are doing the screening are in an isolated area and nowhere near the security checkpoint, which means they cannot see the people who are being screened at the time. The only thing that they can tell is if the person is male or female. TSA hopes that travelers will feel less violated visually since the screeners are in a faraway location. Not only are there privacy concerns, but there is also other concerns dealing with backscatter scanners. Even though some security and health executives say that the radiation amount from exposure to backscatter scanners is very low, not everyone agrees with that. Unlike cell phone signals, the energy being emitted by a backscatter X-ray is a type of ionizing radiation that damages chemical bonds. If 1 million people were uncovered to 520 scans in 1 year, a study showed that 4 extra cancers could happen just from the scanners. The scanners do not have a medical purpose, so therefore the United States Food and Drug Administration do not need to focus them to the same protection evaluations as medical X-rays. The FDA has formed a webpage showing different estimates of the radiation from backscatter X-ray body scanners to other known sources. The website shows that ionizing radiation is everywhere around us and not just at airports. TSA claims that a person receives a higher amount of radiation just by flying. It takes only about 60 seconds of flight time at 35,000 feet to represent the amount of radiation that a person receives from one scan. Minorities. There have been many calls of the backscatter X-ray that do not show equal treatment of minorities. Current backscatter X-ray scanners that are installed by the TSA have not been able to screen accurately for security threats such as prosthetics and loose clothing. Because of this technology restriction of current scanners, some people are required to go through additional screening by hand and other methods. This gives people more delay and also feelings of harassment towards them. The next production of backscatter scanners will be able to screen any type of clothing and hopefully stop making people feel like they are being attacked or watched more than others when they come through for screening. There are some safety regulations and standards for the backscatter X-ray scanner. In the United States, an X-ray system can be measured to observe with requirements for general purpose security screening of humans if the piece of equipment complies with American National Standards Institute standard. In other words, it states that a device can be used for general purpose of security screening of humans if the measured quantity is at a set amount that agrees with the ANSI for per examination and is regulated with other requirements of the standard. ANSI is usually asking for the set amount of 25 microrem, which is equal to the amount of setting radiation that every human is exposed to at sea level. New technology improvement. In the near future, technology will become more advanced. But as far as backscatter X-ray scanners and their future are concerned, there have been many privacy and health concerns that come from these scanners. However, the government is hoping to find a way to make it to where there will not be naked images of people as they go through these scanners, so that privacy invasion can be cut down as much as possible. The health concern will most likely always be a problem with any kind of radiation, whether it is medical or airport screenings, since there is no agreement on what is really harmful or not.